Have you ever wondered what your 8th grade DC trip will be like and what work the teachers put into it?
The Washington, D.C. trip requires a lot of planning and hard work from the teachers to put together a great trip. Miss Hahn was in charge of the D.C. trip for the beginning of the Hyatts DC Journey.
Ready? Yeah. So Hyatts opened in 2007, and so we went to D.C. that spring. Mrs. Ellie Abity and myself were in charge of the trip, and it was a small group that year, but we took our first group in, I believe it was March of 2008. Then I passed the torch on to Mr. Mehta and Mrs. Miller, the librarian.
Hyatts has been going to DC ever since it started in 2007.
Though this trip has been a loved tradition for many years, it hasn't changed much.
Well, to be honest with you, I don't know if it's changed that much. We've been working with the same company, Prodigy, go to the same places. We alternate hotel rooms. I mean, the biggest change, there's no museum anymore. That's a big change. But as far as logistics of the trip, no, it's not much different than when I first started going, and I won't get to go this year.
All of the teachers love to go to DC with their students. This trip creates lasting and exciting memories for everyone.
Well, for teachers or at least for me when I was in charge, the most exciting part of the trip was when we went that morning, getting in the bus and going. I think for kids the most exciting part is the bus ride and the hotel. I think for everybody the most exciting part is being in Washington D.C., getting out of Columbus, being in a big city, seeing the monuments, seeing sites that maybe kids don't see all the time, in a place that people don't know much about, or visiting-wise.
Even though Mr. Mehta is not going to DC this year, he played a big part in making the trip as amazing as it is, along with Mrs. Hahn.
Dr. Turner is excited to take on the job this year.
This is like my 16th year going, and since it's an 8th grade trip, I feel like an 8th grade teacher should be in charge of it. I enjoy the trip. I look forward to going every year. I find it to be fun, seeing you guys outside the classroom, getting to know some of you in an environment other than my classroom is fun. That's really it. I just think someone had to do it.
Teachers love to be outside of their classrooms and see the important museums and monuments around DC. The sights to see at DC are something to remember. This historical place played a big role in our country's formation.
They all have so much history and are all interesting to visit.
I think the thing I like the most about DC is the time spent with the students outside the classroom, getting to know them for who they are instead of who they're supposed to be in the classroom. You know, you get to be a little bit more relaxed. It's a little bit more fun. I also enjoy the sites and the museums. I won't lie, I'm kind of a nerd when it comes to the museums.
We are really looking forward to our DC trip.
Now you know what work goes into it and what